Welcome to Santa Pod Raceway. Glorious weather, huge crowd for the final round of the 2013 European Funny Cars Series. The racing so far has just been fantastic and the funny cars are in the thick of it. The final round of the FIA European Championship always has huge crowds over the 4 days of the event, and for the funny car drivers it marks a return to England after the previous round just 3 weeks ago at Hockenheim in Germany.
Although I enjoy Hockenheim, it's like a nice place to go. It's really nice to be home. I feel so it's comfortable here. We know where we are, we know who we're dealing with. It's just a nice place to be. We had a real rough time in Hockenheim, sort of like engine-wise, and I personally think we got pretty unlucky. I got unlucky against Leif, and we did like some engine damage. It was just hard. It was just a hard deal really all the way around. After the night show, we were in bed at. We finished at 4 in the morning, and we were back up at 7:30. We were like zombies, to be honest. It really was that hard. It really was. It was a test of endurance more than anything.
And every team has had a lot of work to get the cars back into full race condition.
We've been at it 2 solid weeks. I haven't seen my daughter now for, just barely in the mornings really, before she goes to daycare. Yeah, I can only keep my fingers crossed that the car holds together. I've got lots of new parts on it. It's not in real bad shape, to be honest, but who knows? It's either going to go fast or go bang, one of the two.
It's morning of day 1 of qualifying, and as the top fuel cars warm up, it looks like both Leif Helander and Kevin Kent with the West 10 team are not too far off being ready for the first session. Kevin also made the trip to Hockenheim and the famed night show.
Yeah, we was quite lucky. We didn't hurt anything. We didn't do as good as we wanted to, but yeah, we got away with. We come out all right.
So what is the plan for this weekend then?
Well, it's the last one this year, so yeah. So we go out, we give it all we got.
Yeah, we were in and out of the car on finals day a few times, and I think it was probably about 32, 34 degrees in the car, probably twice that. So it was difficult. Yeah. We got through it. The car didn't perform as we wanted in the final. We had a short turnaround from the semis and little error, and we didn't get the car quite right. But this another weekend, we go again. We're in with a shout at the championship at the end of the year. We're only 20 points. Well, Jason's leading, I'm 20 points behind him. There'll be a fight between us to see if we can maintain that, really.
Well, it's Friday morning, and after a blazing hot day on Thursday for sportsman qualifying, the weather has turned decidedly cold. In fact, a full 10 degrees Celsius down from yesterday. So both Jason Phelps and Gordon Smith have elected to wait till tomorrow before they put in runs and hope for better track temperatures, which means it's going to be Leif Helander and Kevin Kent out together in this session. So, quick handshake before it's time to get strapped in, and they're ready for their first qualifying run of the weekend. The reason they do this, just to explain, is to set up the field for eliminations. It's tournament-style eliminations, so there's obviously a semi-final and a final. The winner from both of those semi-finals goes into the final, but unless they qualify, i.e. 1, 2, 3, 4, we don't know exactly who's going to be racing who. So the tension mounts as they tow round behind the tower here at Santa Pod for their first runs of the weekend. Kevin Kent, his first year in a fuel funny car, in fact his first year ever in any kind of race vehicle, doing a really, really good job, as are the crew. But the man in the other lane, Leif Helander, first qualifying run of the weekend, looking for a good number as well for both of these two drivers. As we said earlier, the two Shockwave cars, both Gordy Smith and the Marshall team, the points leader Jason Phelps sitting out this session. They're going to be running a little bit later on in the weekend. So both doing the traditional tyre warmers. Now this is actually after the top fuel dragster qualifying session, so a lot of rubber gone down on the racetrack, and the teams should have a pretty good idea of what the start line will take. This is an all new surface for 2013, and it's fair to say it's come round very, very well indeed. So Leif Helander looking, as I said, to remain unbeaten, whereas Kevin Kent is looking for his first round win as a fuel funny car driver. I was going to say of the season, but he's never done anything before that. So here we go then, both into stage. Mustang against the Saab. Real nice strong launch for Leif Helander. The car drifts out to the right and he takes his foot off the throttle just believe it or not, as he hits the wall. Still goes 563 at 205 miles an hour. Kevin Kent with problems. The car labouring off the start line. You can see Leif was off on one. All cylinders lit on the car really evenly, but he drifts over to the right, obviously thinking he can pull it back, but not quite. Gets out the throttle, and you can see the tyre tracks eerily drift into the wall. So, both cars are back in the pits. A rather worried Leif Helander looks on. How much damage has been done underneath the body? Well, both cars get pushed under the awnings, and then it's time to remove the bodies and start readying them for the next session. For the West 10 team, it should be routine maintenance, but for Leif Helander and the Star Cotter team, only time will tell. And at the moment, the body seems to be a little bit battered and bruised, as well as the exhaust headers, as you can see. Crew looking rather concerned underneath it as well at the moment. It looks like it's stuck as well. No such problems for Kevin and the team. The car just didn't perform as they thought it was going to. But back over on Leif Helander's side of the pits, it really isn't looking good at the moment. So we're going to have a quick word with Leif and find out exactly what the situation is.
We have little problem with the wheel was little different sizes, so I know that should be a little problem. But I thought I have control about the car, but when it get out of the groove, it's spinning loose, so it's just bunching it don't scratch the wall, it's bunching the wall. So now I think the body is no problem. We can fix that, and Kevin have headers we can use, I think, so we should be okay till tomorrow.
By 9 o'clock that evening, it was clear that there was indeed major damage to the motor. So it looks like the team will be up all night trying to get everything rebuilt in time for tomorrow's qualifying runs. Well, it's Saturday morning now, and it looks like Leif's crew have got everything ready to race. The final task will be for Leif to pack his own chutes. Obviously, a very important job, and if you do it yourself, you're certain it's done right, most importantly. So we'll be seeing both the Shockwave and the Marshall car of Jason Phelps in this session, and time to warm up the engine as well for the West 10 team. So as the cars are brought down into the staging lanes, there's a huge crowd on the bank waiting to see the funny cars run. And first out is going to be Jason Phelps and Gordon Smith. Now both these guys sat out yesterday's qualifying on Friday just to make sure everything was really tip-top and, you know, up to spec for today's qualifying runs. And also they've both got championship aspirations, so they really want to make sure they put in a good showing in qualifying, obviously, and in eliminations as well. So first to burn out is Gordon Smith with the Shockwave car, the Marshall Amplification Mustang, Jason Phelps. Both these teams, a huge amount of engine work and everything else since they came back from Hockenheim. Jason did a lot of damage during the first round race out there. So really he just wants to make sure he gets from one end to the other without doing too much damage to the car, as both of them do as well. Fuel funny cars are notoriously difficult to run. 8,000 brake horsepower in such a short wheelbase is really difficult to get down the racetrack, but they do make it look easy most of the time. That man there with the grey hair is Bill Sherratt, a very experienced funny car driver in his own right. He's helping out Jason all through the season. He sets the barrel valve on the start line, as does Dave Bryant for Gordy Smith, and we're into stage. Well, Gordy leaves first, it doesn't matter, it is only qualifying. Jason was on a pretty good run as well, clicks it off just after half track, runs a low 6:31, that'll do, as long as the engine is in one piece. That's the thing they're worried about. Gordon trickles through with an 11-second elapsed time. So now you're getting a big toes eye view of Kevin Kent in the West 10 Mustang funny car. going to be going against Leif Helander. Now, Leif, the car wasn't that badly damaged after yesterday's qualifying run. Most importantly, the brush with the wall wasn't too bad. The body still looking a little bit scarred, but a new set of headers and the car looks almost brand new. There you go, you can see Kevin soaring away on the wheel in the West End funny car, just during the burnout, that is, as well. Imagine what it's like on the run. So both these had a bit of track time yesterday, but unfortunately as Leif hit the wall, his time didn't count, so he's got to put a decent number on the board today. Kevin Kent's run yesterday was a bit troubled as well, only in the 8-second range. Now he has run in the 5.4s at well over 280 miles an hour. Now both of those runs were made when he was doing his licensing. He hasn't actually managed to do it while he's been in qualifying or competition yet. Could now be the time? We're just about to find out. So the crew, last minute checks, put the body down over Kevin and the engine. Leif Helander is beckoned into stage by his touring American crew chief, that's John Smith. And now it's showtime. Well, they both looked really strongly today. Leif Helander is out of it. Kevin Kent goes all the way through to a new personal best of 5.38, only 256 miles an hour. I think he might have even shut that one off a little bit early. Well, not only #1 qualifier, not only his quickest run ever, but the quickest run of the year as well. That's got to be good.
Absolutely. It's absolutely superb run. From yesterday today, what a turnaround. Superb. Absolutely.
Well, the car's always had it in it, obviously, and that was a really, really nice day. He's doing such a good job of driving too.
Yeah, his driving skills are just getting better and better from his rookie year. Just to see him progress through each race is just fantastic. We're really, really happy.
Good stuff. Congratulations, and good luck on race day too.
Thanks very much indeed. Thank you.
Well, another look at the run on board with Kevin. You can see him hold on to the brake for dear life, take his foot off the clutch, nudge the car into stage. Just wait for the lights to come down. There we go. So, through the finish line, hits the parachutes, there you go, shuts the fuel off, but it's not happening. Kevin trying to get the car slowed down. The chutes haven't come out, so he's got to hold on for dear life as he goes into the field, would you believe? There we go, that's what all the dust and everything is. The world's fastest tractor, or lawnmower if you prefer. Kevin's absolutely fine, just unbuckles and jumps out the car. That run, even though he ended up in the field, made him #1 qualifier, but not quite the way he wanted to do it, I'm sure. You can see it's a long way down there. It's about half a mile to shut the car down, and Kevin went out, well, right there. He didn't make as far as the woods in the distance, thank goodness, but he did go quite a way into all that freshly mown stuff right there. So back in the pits, and yet again there's anticipation as to what the damage will be for one of the teams, but this time though, it's Kevin Kent and the West End team doing the worrying. But for Leif Helander and his team, it seems that the replaced motor has done its job.
Yeah, that was basically our checkout pass, and we wanted to make sure all the systems were working good. We replaced the engine, fuel system, clutch. We kind of just went through everything. Had to do some repair work on the body as the leaf got close to the wall, and it seemed to all come together. We were able to take it and run some pretty good short times, so we'll try to come back later this afternoon and try to go for #1 qualifier. We're looking for, something in the low fives, and this car should be able to go out and run 520s, 510s with no problem, and that's what we're going to try to do.
Well, there are signs of obvious damage to Kevin Kent's car, but it's how it's fared underneath the body and what's exactly happened that are going to be the big problems. The team have got obvious engine work to do, repairs as well. You can see that's the belly fan under the car. A lot of work for the team.
Yeah, we had a problem with the chute cables. They never come out. We tried slowing the car down as quick as possible, but we was going through so fast. Ended up in the field. We was about 3 foot off the ground. We went about 2 car lengths, come to a good stop, and we was all right. We was out quick enough. Done a bit of body damage. We're just changing motors now. We got a problem with the motor, but yeah.
Well, sponsors in any motorsport are very important, And Jason has got a guest from Marshall's here for the day. A man who has himself driven everything from Indy cars to Formula One. What did he make of the funny cars?
Just been down to the start line and see Jason go, and it's just absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I've driven some cars in my time, and F1s, Indy cars, 215 miles an hour on ovals and stuff like that, but I've never seen anything like this. This is just incredible. Brave man, brave man. The whole company and the whole sponsorship sort of side for Marshall Lamps is incredible. You know, it's always good to see a company back in motorsport, and we like to see it, and it seems as though Marshall really want to get something out of this rather than just a sticker on the car.
Well, the crowds are waiting in anticipation of the final session. The Fuel Funny cars, all the other FIA classes have done theirs, so it's now time for the Fuel Floppers to put on a show. First up, Leif Helander with the Star Cotter. The car's been running pretty well this weekend and has been strong when it's gone in a straight line. And as if by magic, perfect straight line that time for Leif. It goes 5:48, number 2 qualifier for the man from Sweden. Okay, the last pair is going to be Jason Phelps and Gordy Smith. Once again, the two team cars lining up for their last qualifying runs of the year. When you say it like that, it all sounds a bit sort of final, unfortunately, but that's why it's called the European Finals. Everything gets decided this weekend. Championship trophies get handed out. And it makes for a very exciting weekend, especially when things aren't settled and no one knows who is going to win. So Jason gets set on the line, so does Gordy Smith. They both had pretty good runs earlier on. Gordy away very well. Jason with problems by the looks of it off the line. Gordy was out of it after a couple of 100 foot as well. Jason with big wheel wobble too.
No, it hasn't gone our way really, but it doesn't always. So, I mean, we're okay. We're sort of nursing a smaller inventory, let's say. It's the last race of the season. So if we can nurse our way through qualifying and then fix a few little issues, and then tomorrow is another day.
Absolutely stand on it. And what do you reckon happened to Jason's car that time round as well? That was one of the weirdest things I've seen in a while.
Maybe one of the wheels fell off.
Optimistic viewpoint there from Dave Bryant. Anyway, so no sign of Kevin Kent this time round, and in fact the car is in bits. They're putting a new cylinder liner into the block, and it turns out the engine suffered major damage on that run as well. Leif Helander's crew actually can afford to sit around relaxing. Their car's ready to go. Well, unfortunately for Kevin's team, they're taking the liner out again, and it doesn't look good for the rest of the weekend. On to Sunday morning, and it's eliminations time. A relaxed breakfast for the Star Cotter team, but how did the Shockwave crew get on overnight?
Seems really frantic around there.
We're frantic, yes, very frantic.
What's the situation with the cars?
Well, they'll both be ready, touch wood. Yeah, big deal with my car yesterday. Kicked the rods out, so and put another motor in. A lot of work, here till 3 in the morning. Back again at 6 this morning, so not a lot of sleep.
But you enjoy it?
No.
Well, behind the start line with number 1 qualifier. Kevin, it's just been a hard season for you, but finally all came together, your number 1 qualifier in funny car.
Yeah, it's been a tough season. But yeah, it was nice to come out as number 1.
And that run, that was your quickest run ever. Did it feel good, or was it still, getting used to it?
I knew it was fast. It didn't feel that fast. We clicked early. I clicked off just after 1,000 foot, which wasn't a bad idea after all.
Well, you say you clicked it off after 1,000 foot. Just on that, how fast do you think it would have gone, or how quick do you think it would have gone if you'd have kept it on all the way through?
Yeah, I think we'd have been in the low 20s, I reckon. It would have been all right.
The car, off the line, had hideous tyre shake, and then I lifted, and then whoa, big fire. I lifted, but to me it felt like the clutch had fell off the back of the motor, or it had thrown a rod. It was saying it was really out of balance, but all we can find is our best guess is like a harmonics through the chassis, and it just carried on. It just rolled, and I had trouble hanging on to it. It's just absolute mental in there, mental. We've gone through everything. The crew were up until 3 o'clock this morning. They've changed everything, got new rods and pistons, and we're going to go and give it a go. We're going to go and beat Leif, the Swede. Right now, this is do or die. If I get through, if I get past the Swede, then well, I think we're there.
So the cars are wheeled out and towed down into the staging lanes, but unfortunately there's a big oil down just before they get out on the track, and everybody has to wait nervously. There's crew chief Dave Bryant looking very pensive indeed. He's got 2 cars to take care of this weekend, but we're underway, and first out is going to be Gordy Smith, but there's no sign of the number 1 qualifier, Kevin Kent, in the other lane. Looks like they just couldn't get all of their engine problems sorted out. Kevin did say that they did have a spare block, they had the spare bits to do it. The crew spent all night, nearly worked themselves to death to get it ready. And I know he was very grateful to all the hard work they put in. It's just such a shame after running such a great qualifying run. Number 1 qualifier, his quickest ever run, and couldn't make it out into eliminations, unfortunately. But they'll be back stronger than ever next year. And in the meantime, Gordy Smith gets a freebie, a bye run into the final. Well, a pretty strong launch to about 300 foot out. Gordy gets off the gas, saves everything for the final round, trickles through, but the win light is the most important thing for the Shockwave team. Your next pair is going to be champion-elect. Can he wrap it up today? That's Jason Phelps with the Marshall car. If he beats Leif Helander, he has virtually got a lock on the first ever European Funny Car Series title. For the man on the other side of the racetrack, nobody has gotten around all summer. 3 events he's entered, 3 events so far he's been unbeaten until maybe this first round pairing. We'll just have to wait and see. Leif Helander with engine changes over the weekend. Jason Phelps with lots of problems yesterday. The car got a big wobble on off the start line. They weren't really sure what it was, but checked through everything and nothing was wrong. So this is the big race of the weekend so far, and Jason Phelps goes red on the tree. It's going to be Leif Helander into the final. 5:47, 278 miles an hour. Nice numbers for the Starcotter team. And it's all now down to the final. Jason's still got the points lead, but if Gordy Smith can beat Leif Helander, he'll overtake Jason in the points to win the championship.
Yeah, we're going to hop it right up and go for it in the final. I think if I lose the final, we finish up level. If I win it, obviously I'll win it. So I'm going to win it. Be ready. All those people on the bank there, be ready for me, because I'm coming.
So now the outcome is out of Jason and the team's hands. We've still got work to do. Sponsor, Metal Hammer, have come along with a photo shoot for their magazine. And as you have to say, Nitro fits in so well with heavy metal.
My name is Joseph O'Brien. I'm a photographer from the Midlands. And today we're shooting with Danny Devine down with the Marshall and Metal Hammer team drag racing car. Well, that's my first time on the starting line ever, so it's a massive, massive experience. Just a rush of energy and just adrenaline just rushing through your body.
It was like every Motorhead concert I've ever been to all in 1 second. Loud. Like that.
It's definitely a thrill that's out there with the same level as being, next to a Marshall stack on a gig. It's just a real full body experience.
Well, we're moments away from the Fuel Funny Car final at the final race of the season at Santa Pod. It's been such a great year. We started off here freezing cold at Easter. Main event was pretty good. Hockenheim in Germany was testing for some of the teams, but the finals is where it's all come together. Leif Helander has managed to remain unbeaten for the whole season so far. Can he do it this time? But in the other lane, he's got to beat the man who looks like he's going to be wrapping up the Funny Car crown, Gordon Smith. Well, tuning for a couple of cars this weekend, but most importantly for the Funny Car guys, Leif Helander. John, it's gone pretty well so far for you.
Pretty well. We struggled the first day, had to change motors and work on the tune-up a little bit, but on Saturday we were able to get a good baseline run. And today the car went straight down the groove, and Leif did a great job driving. He was on time on the starting line, and now we're going to the finals. The first race that he missed, he was sick, and he was under the weather. And that was a shame. I had planned to come over here, but we had to cancel at the last minute. And now we've gone, well, we're 2 for 2. We'll see if we can do another one here. And it's going to be a tough match, but we'll see if we can get it done.
So it's on to the all-important final. Side-by-side burnouts from the 2 Fuel Funny cars. Leif Helander, can he go unbeaten full stop in 2013? Unfortunately for him, he had to miss the race at Easter, the first round of the championship, due to illness. If he'd have made that, then pretty much odds on he would have taken the title, but you have to be in it to win it. Gordon Smith has all summer, as has Jason Phelps. So, if Gordon Smith can take this win, he will be the first ever European Funny Car Series champion. But Leif Helander can stop him. Oh, and it's Gordon Smith up in smoke. Beautiful run all the way through for Leif Helander. 5:39. Superb run from the man from Sweden. You wouldn't guess he's well over getting his bus pass in the UK, that man. He really does drive like a youngster. So, some real nice footage of the car gently tricking off the end of the racetrack. It's all noise and commotion on the start line here. It's about as peaceful as you can get. Leif Helander just climbing out of the car, being told by the crew, yep, you won.
Well, Leif, you've done it. The 3 races that you've been to this year, you won the main event, you won Hockenheim, you won this one too, and your quickest run of the year in the final as well.
Yeah, in Sweden we said it's the cabin, we show where the cabinet stand. That is, var garderoben står någonstans. Det är liksom ett uttryck, ett speak we had in Sweden. That I show how it should be.
And your crew, you must love them to death as well. They work so hard, even just getting ready for this race.
Yeah, they're working real hard, and Saturday night, Friday night we have hard time to get everything going, and then we had the problem with the fuel pump, but Bode had the fuel pump, and I think my guys doing 80% and Bode is doing 60%, and I'm doing the rest if it's it.
Good, well it's going to make a long winter a lot shorter. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, Leif Helander was a bit excited, managed to mix Swedish and English into a language we call Swinglish. It's quite common up there in Scandinavia, but well done to him anyway. Undefeated all season, but in the end the point show is Jason and Gordon that were tied, but Jason takes the championship with more head-to-head victories.
Well, that's it for the Fuel Funny Cars for 2013. What a show they put on, and what a show that man Leif Helander put on as well. We hope you've enjoyed all the shows we've made throughout the summer. We'll be back again next season.